Pooh's neighbourhood. I say it's a splendid day in the neighbourhood, said Owl. It's a nice day here too, said Winnie the Pooh. Exactly what I'm saying, said Owl. A perfectly splendid day in the neighbourhood. Which neighbourhood are we talking about? Asked Pooh. Neighbourhood, said Owl. Our neighbourhood, the place where we live, where all our neighbours live, and are neighbourly. Oh, said Pooh. It is a splendid day, isn't it? Quite, said Owl. Now I'm off for an owl's eye view. We flew up, circled once around Pooh's house. What does it look like from up there? Asked Pooh. I can see the 100-acre wood spread out below me, said Owl, and it's a fine place indeed. As Owl flew off, Pooh began to think about what it means to live in a neighbourhood, and he thought perhaps he would bring a neighbourly present to his closest neighbour, Piglet. He took a honey pot out of his cupboard, tied a nice blue ribbon around it. Then he tucked it comfortably under his arm, stumped down the path towards Piglet's house. But when he reached his thoughtful spot, which was halfway between house and Piglet's, Pooh suddenly had a thought. I could take this path straight to Piglet's house, or I could go up the path and round the whole neighbourhood, and sooner or later the path would take me to Piglet's house anyway. And that's what he did. After he'd walked for a time, he came to the house where Kanga and Roo lived. Hello, Kanga, said Pooh. I'm just on my way to deliver this neighbourly present to Piglet. But Pooh dear, Piglet lives that way, said Kanga, pointing down the path which Pooh had come. Yes, said Pooh, but today I'm going the long way. Oh, I see, said Kanga. In that case, perhaps you should join us for a snack. Come on, Pooh, cried Roo. We're going to a picnic spot. Pooh said he was feeling a bit 11 o'clockish, so they all went together past the sand pit where Roo plays up to the picnic spot to share a little something. Half an hour and one picnic basket later, Pooh thanked Kanga, tucked Piglet's honey pot back under his arm, and stumped down the path towards Rabbit's house. Hello, Rabbit, called Pooh. I'm on my way to Piglet's to give him this neighbourly present. If you're going to Piglet's house, what are you doing here? Asked Rabbit. I'm going the long way, said Pooh. More like the wrong way, if you ask me, said Rabbit. But since you're here, would you mind taking these carrots to Christopher Robin? I promised him he'll have them in time for lunch. Well, at the mention of the word lunch, Pooh noticed that his tummy was feeling just the tiniest bit rumbly. With carrots under one arm, honey pot under the other, he walked along until he came to the place where the stepping stones crossed the stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, he counted as he tethered from stone to stone. 8 or 9 of Rabbit's friends and relations heard Pooh and peeked out the windows and the doors. Pooh shouted, "Hello!" Rabbit's friends and relations waved. Pooh marched across the open slopes of heather and up the steep banks of sandstone until at last, tired and hungry, he arrived at Christopher Robin's door. "Oh, my carrots!" cried Christopher Robin happily. Thank you for delivering them. It seemed a neighbourly thing to do, said Pooh proudly. Would you like to join me for lunch? Christopher Robin asked. And Pooh said, well, I am really on my way to Piglet's to bring him his present, but I don't see why I can't stop just for a little while. After lunch and a longish snooze, Pooh was back on his way. He walked down the path through the little pine wood, climbed over the gate into Eeyore's gloomy place, which was where Eeyore lived. Hello, Eeyore, said Pooh. Just on my way to Piglet's house with his neighbourly presents. Not coming to visit me, said Eeyore. I didn't think so. It's been such a busy week already. Why, only 4 days ago, Tigger bounced me on his way to the swimming hole. How many visitors can you really expect? And Pooh, feeling rather badly now, offered Eeyore a nice lick of honey. Pooh opened the jar. Eeyore peered in. He looked back up at Pooh. Pooh peered in. Empty, he said. That's what it looks like to me, said Eeyore. Oh, bother, said Pooh. He stumped off grumbly, trying to think how he was going to tell Piglet about the neighbourly present Piglet was not going to get. Pooh had almost arrived at the place where the woozles wasn't, and was deciding to take the long path round it, just in case the woozles was, when he saw Owl flying over. I've seen the whole neighbourhood today, Pooh told him, but now I have no neighbourly present left for Piglet. The bees have been quite busy at the old bee tree lately, said Owl. Perhaps you can get a fill up there. That's a good idea, Owl. But it's such a long way, sighed Pooh. Come along, said Owl. I'll take you the shortcut through the woods. So they walked together until they came to an old open place in the middle of the forest. And in the middle of this place was the old bee tree. Pooh could hear a loud buzzing near the top. Up, up, up he climbed. Go up higher, called Owl, past the bees, to the very top of the tree. Now look all around you. What do you see? The 100-acre wood was spread out below him. Our neighbourhood, cried Pooh. Our beautiful home. That's the owl's eye view, said Owl grandly. Oh, I can see poor Piglet out sweeping his walk, said Pooh. Looks like he could do and use some company. So Pooh filled the honey pot once more, and he and Owl went to Piglet's house for supper.